What in the fuck? Labour Party MP has called for a ban on first cousin marriage. Medical evidence shows that one of the negative consequences of inbreeding is a 100% increase in the risk of stillbirths. Wow. That is insane.
I also read somewhere that a lot of the symptoms of inbred people are irrational rage.
Irrational rage? Do we want to import that into our country en masse? I personally am not a fan.
Put that
fanaticism. And they end up just describing ISIS.
Look at what it says here. That with the IQ points, it says findings on intelligence. Research shows that if one's parents are cousins, intelligence goes down 10 to 16 IQ points.
Oh boy.
The risk of having an IQ lower than 70, criterion for being retarded in quotes. Are they using that word? Increases.
Well, Trump is now
400%. Among children from cousin marriages. Well, let me say that again. The risk of having an IQ lower than 70 increases 400%.
Now, try to picture that, all right? But not just like on a scale of one guy decides to bang his first cousin, all right? Imagine that, but as a culture that spanned over 1,000 years of inbreeding, you are going to end up with some of the dumbest fucking people on the planet. Again, I'm not not saying this is an insult, and I don't hate these people. They're made in the image of God, all right? I actually do have love and respect for all these people. I just personally don't want to live next to them. All right, this is the incredible small caveat. All right, I'm not trying to be rude here, and I know this is considered racist, but the reality is that's why Somalia's average IQ is 68. Somalia is backwards country, and as Trump put it, it is a lawless, vagrant state with no laws or police force, because realistically, the average IQ is 70 after 1,000 years of inbreeding. Again, not trying to be controversial here at all right? This is numbers, okay? So when I say that 70,000 Somalians are about to be deported, this is very scary, actually. So Jack Posobiec, he is a friend of Charlie Kirk's, he said, I can't even say what I want to say. Mass deportation is the moderate option. She was 20 years old, all right? Which, I mean, is the gut response that I think a lot of people are having. It's like, we have to stop this from happening in our country. Like, we don't have to live like this. So, leftist says, this guy is literally a Nazi. Once again, the classic dog whistle, go kill him, right? When you call people Nazis when they're not Nazis, you're essentially co-signing their death warrant, and there's really no better way to interpret it than that. So this guy tweets another one of Jack's tweets saying, breaking, President Trump announces full suspension of third world immigration and states that the policy is now reverse immigration. That's what I just showed you from Trump's tweet. And he says, okay, I'm starting to think this whole thing was staged. Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen. After the woke retards have been calling everyone on the right conspiracy theorists for saying, actually, I do think that there might be side effects to the COVID vaccine, right? After years of being called conspiracy theorists, now the left is starting to think that the right literally got this Afghan migrant to murder a National Guardsman or two in order to push an immigration narrative and propaganda. All right, congratulations, leftoids. You've become what you wanted to destroy. Islamists carry out 70,000 separate terrorist attacks throughout the world since 9/11. I'm starting to think this last one specifically was staged. This last one specifically was probably a trick by the United States government. All right, no one sells the benefits of Nazis quite like progressives. And here we have this same retard. The murder rate in Germany also went down when the Nazis took over. What? So, this is Andrew Colvette. He works for Turning Point USA. We do not have enough people in prisons in this country. Free your mind from the PSYOP. You can't jail your way out of crime. You literally can. Because in El Salvador's crime rate dropped tremendously. And they're like, oh, that's Nazism. Arresting criminals, that's classic Nazis. But no. The reality is, you absolutely should be jailing more people. Now, here's to not judging books by its cover. 62% of Somali men in Denmark are convicted of a violent crime by the age of 30. 30! Again, average IQ under 70, mass immigration of these people that are not necessarily contributing positive things to society, per se. Not trying to be racist, but for the most part, they're really not doing that so much. And the reality of the fact of the matter is they have a 62% chance of one of them committing a violent crime by the age of 30. That's insane. That doesn't sound like integrating to me. Violent tendencies after 1,000 years of inbreeding or something. I don't know. I'm not trying to call all Somalis inbred, but I'm not doing that either. One Somali does something The whole community is targeted. In Africa, in America, people are afraid of our success. Worried we are taking over. Know who we are as community.